Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to discuss all 25 of the Fendi Baguette bags that were reissued for the 25th anniversary. So I want to quickly tell you my thoughts on each of them individually, but at the same time, I will be ranking them from my least favorite to my favorite. Now, I haven't purchased anything from this collection. I shared with you guys before that I wasn't going to be buying any of the reissue bags because I have my heart set on and saving for the Marc Jacobs bags, which are supposed to release actually next year. It gives me more time to save, but personally I love buying the vintage styles and I can usually find them for very good deals. So I wasn't planning on buying anything from these reissues, but I think they are great bags and I'm super happy for anybody that is able to buy something from this collection. So I'm just sharing my opinions on maybe what I would have bought if I did have a bunch of extra discretionary income to spend on this. You can get pretty much all of these styles in the vintage market for half or less than half of these new retail prices, which are pretty high, and we'll talk about those as well in today's video. So one disclaimer to start, I love all of these bags. I think they're all great. It was actually very hard to put them in order of least favorite to favorite. And I think as I talk through them and explain why I put them where they put them, it'll make sense. But if you bought my least favorite bag, that doesn't mean, you know, I don't like it or whatever. I'm just ranking them how I would look at them and how I would purchase them and taking into account my own personal taste and my own personal style. So fashion is super subjective. It's very personal, and what works for you is not gonna work for me. So this by no means that I like hate certain styles or anything like that, but obviously we'll talk through that. Starting with my least favorite, I put in position number 25, the gray cashmere. So this bag is made of a soft dark gray cashmere, which is more like a ready-to-wear material as they say in the product description. And it is finished with these shiny brown leather details. This bag retails for $35.90, which was one of the most affordable from this selection, and it originally debuted in the fall 1999-2000 collection. At the time of release today, it was available to add to cart, so it was not sold out. The reason I put this in my last place is because I don't really like chocolate brown leather, and we'll talk about brown more when I get into my personal preferences, but I do not go for brown leather bags that much. You know, there are exceptions. If you've seen my Birkin, totally different subject, but especially chocolate brown, I do not like. Outside of the Louis Vuitton monogram, I do not own any like chocolate brown bags. So I don't like that leather detail, but the thing about the cashmere that worries me is snagging and pilling and just how careful I would have to be with that bag, which that's why I put it in last place. I do frequently see these vintage cashmere styles available in the market for affordable prices. Again though, textile materials, you got to be a little careful with checking out the condition that it's in, etc. But if you are interested in this bag and you don't want to pay the $35.90, I have seen these pretty readily available in the resale market. Next is this multicolor mink bag that's in the pattern of like a plaid material. I believe in the description they call it Scottish print. It actually features 90 pieces hand assembled of this fur, which I don't even want to try to pronounce it. It's Astrakhan, which is like a lamb fur that's like slightly short and curly, and they've used it in a couple other bags here as well. The reason that I don't love this one again is because it's mainly made up of browns. It's very dark, very fall tones. I don't like this like tannish fur color with the mix of chocolate. Even though it has a pop of red and white, I just don't like the print. So I have nothing against fur, and if you do, I totally understand. But this particular bag, I just don't like the colors. It's also one of the most expensive bags, top 2 in the collection at $7,200, and that is because of the assembly of the different pieces of fur that are put together to make the pattern. I think I love the story about how it's handmade, and obviously it's made of fur, so I think it justifies the price, but I would not be paying that because I just don't like the colors and I don't like the print. This bag is a reinterpretation from fall winter 2000-2001, and its status is pre-order on the site. So I don't think that means that it's sold out. I think that means you can still place a pre-order. It might be taking those individual orders before they put them into production. I'm not sure. Okay, next up guys, also from fall 2000-2001, this bag right here, pretty funky looking, right? This is actually skunk fur. And I had to Google it, whatever the technical name was on the website. I Googled, it says that it's skunk fur. I don't know if I've ever seen a skunk fur bag in my life. I think that it's cool because it's quirky, but there's something about it that like weirds me out, because you know how like skunks are stinky, and not that I think the bag would stink. It's just weird. It seems kind of like a dirty animal. I feel like all animals are dirty, but still, it's very strange. I'll tell you, part of me, again, is like, oh, it's kind of cool because it's funky. And if I saw it in the resale market for cheap 10 years from now, I might pick it up because it's just like a freaky little bag. But I don't think I'd be spending $5,900 on this bag right now. It also features, though, this varnished jacquard FF print, which was a vintage material that was used on many baguette bags in different colorways, but as well as this tan colorway that you see here. So I do think that's a nice little ode to the vintage material that was often used, which makes it kind of cool and unique. So yeah, a skunk fur bag. I want to know what you guys think about skunk fur in the comments. When I Googled this though, I was shocked that it was actually skunk fur, but it looks like skunk fur. So next up, I put this shearling inlaid bag, which is yellow and brown. Again, I don't typically go for brown bags. I also don't typically go for mustard yellow bags. I always go for like neon yellow or bright yellows or more like chartreuse colors. So I would just personally never buy a yellow bag. And while I do like that these are fur, I believe this is shaved shearling, so sheep fur, which I believe when the sheeps are shaved, that means that they're not being harmed. So it's a less harmful fur. Personally, brown and yellow would not be my colorway, so that's why I wouldn't go for this bag. It's from fall 1999-2000, and it retails for $3,890, which actually isn't that expensive. And typically, sheep fur is not that expensive. It is more on the affordable side, again, because it's usually being shaved. And this bag was also add to cart. So far, everything I've talked about has been add to cart. I'm trying to let you know because when I was putting all this together, only one of the bags was sold out. Everything else was still available for purchase for a couple days. Moving to number 21 on my list is this pony hair leopard print bag. Again, because it is based in browns. I have nothing against leopard print. I actually like traditional leopard colorway, which would be tan and browns, and I like snow leopard when it has like grays in it. There's something about this tannish orange snow leopard colorway that I'm just not feeling. Also, I actually used to love pony hair a lot on shoes especially, but pony hair wears really poorly, especially if you get a lot of use on it and it has a lot of rubbing. The hair can really go astray and like stand up, or it can start to bald and look really cheap and not good. So I don't think I would spend my money on a pony hair bag. Calf hair. People call it pony hair. It's not from a pony, it's from a calf, a cow. But that is why this is in the next position. Honestly, this one might even should have been lower maybe, I don't know. The FF clasp also has this enamel detail on it, which I don't really like the color of that enamel because again, it's this weird tannish brown color, not my favorite. It's from fall winter 99-2000 and it also retails for $38.90 and it was available to purchase at the time when I was putting this together. Next up, this is the cheapest bag of the 25. It is the denim one. I put this in slot 20. It is blue, ready to wear denim fabric with contrast stitching. I love denim bags. Again, this retailed for $3,100, which was the most reasonable price of the group. And I like denim and I like the shade of dark denim. It's just too boring for me. If I was to buy one or two bags from this 25th anniversary collection, this one is too simple and too boring. And I think they've done versions of denim before in other bags and other styles. And there are some vintage denim styles that I like a lot more than this dark denim one. So basically I put it here because it's boring. I like it. That's why it's like a little higher up. And I don't want anyone to be like discouraged. I was just like, if I'm gonna invest in the 25th anniversary, I would want to go hard. And I think that that'll be like reflected more towards the top of this list. This was add to cart and it was originally from spring summer 2000. Next, from spring summer 2003 is the basic black satin. And I've talked about the satin ones before. I actually really love these. I think they're beautiful. I don't know if I have And I especially love them because they have bling, and you guys know I love everything jeweled and blinged. But around the clasp, they featured the crystals. They're a reasonable price. Again, they were on the least expensive side of the list for $35.90. So in 19 and then 18, it's the black and the red satin. Again, I think they're just too simple and basic to invest in for this anniversary collection. I think they're great, and I think they would be great evening bags. Personally, for my lifestyle, I don't have a lot of evening outings. I would probably wear satin outside of evening too, don't get me wrong. But the reason I feel like it's at the bottom, again, is just because it's too simple. I want something more. But I think these are beautiful bags. You have to be a little more careful with satin. Water, like staining them, I can't even imagine an oil stain, a beverage stain or something getting on that. I would probably ruin it in a second. But if I could find like a really great vintage version of this for a good price, I would definitely invest in this, mainly because I love how clean it is, being just simple satin, but then with that little pop of bling. And I think in the description it mentioned that this was a really popular style on the red carpets back in the early 2000s, which really makes sense. Also, I forgot to mention that these bags both feature karung details, which is snakeskin. So I do like that they did mix a little bit of texture in that. So somebody who's looking for a more simple bag, they don't like the full beaded bags. And also, this is a reasonable price point. You get the satin, which is beautiful, with the crystals, with the snakeskin, so a little bit of an exotic. I do think this is a really great choice for someone who wants something more simple and more affordable from this collection. But you have to be able to take care of satin and not be a complete mess like me. So in slot 17, I have the second colorway of the sheep fur inlay bag in the turquoise and red. Surprisingly, I kind of liked this colorway because it was kind of funky. I thought it ended up looking cool. They're two colors you wouldn't think to put together, but I think they came out really good. These were $38.90 again, and they were available to purchase. Something about this color combo, while it's not something that I would go to as my #1 choice, I think it was pretty cool. And I do usually like to add, you know, fun, colorful, unique things to my collection. So for that reason, I do like this bag, and I like this colorway a lot better than the brown and yellow colorway, just because I'm not a huge fan of brown and yellow. In slot 16, I put the basic black beaded bag. This is from the original fall 1997 collection. I love it. I love the beaded bags, but out of all the beaded and embellished bags in this collection, I think this colorway is the most boring, which is why it's towards the bottom of the list. This bag consists of 22,000 beads, which I love that they share that information because it adds so much value to the price points for me when they give you those specifics. It does retail for $5,900, which is a lot of money to pay, but I love that it's from the original collection. Additionally, the first Fendi Baguette that Carrie Bradshaw ever wore on Sex and the City was the beaded bag. It wasn't in black. It was in like either a greenish or gold material. I'll have to make a separate video about all the bags she wore, but I think that's kind of like nostalgic for buying one of these more simple beaded bags as well. $5,900 is a lot of money for a basic black bag, but if you love black, then I think this gives you a little bit of texture and a little bit of fun. So it's a very clean, nice bag. I just like, you know, all the fun ones at the top. So slot 15, I put the aluminum square sequins baguette. This has 12,600 sequins. I actually like this matte aluminum finish colorway, but there are so many other amazing colorful sequin bags from Fendi that makes this one just not my first choice. So I still love the square sequin, and I like this color, but if I were to buy a sequin bag from Fendi, it wouldn't be this silver one. So again, I don't hate it. It just pushes it down the list. It was obviously from look #1 on the runway of the collection. It looked super cute, but this puts it in slot 15 for me. It is $4,600, and it is from the fall 1999 and 2000 collection. So in slot 13, we're getting to the top half now. I have the cow print bag, which I told you guys when I reviewed the collection that you won't catch me in cow print. This bag is growing on me because of the turquoise, pop of turquoise stone. Also the fact that the cow print is black and white. It's kind of, they kept it kind of simple, which I like. So this bag has grown on me a lot. It is pony hair, or sorry, calf hair again, which are, you kind of have to be careful and make sure you don't like mess that up, turn it into like a constant mohawk or something like that. But I think the pop of turquoise really makes this bag for me. The blue stone is actually called howlite, and I don't know anything about stones, but I think that if you're the right person for this, or if you're like going on, I don't know, a trip to Texas, I don't know, I like this bag, but it's halfway through for me. Also, $38.90 for all this look is not a bad price. This bag was currently set to pre-order. It wasn't available for purchase, but it also didn't say sold out. Number 12, I put this acid green long calf hair one, which you're probably like, oh my God, that's so ugly. It does look like the Grinch. My husband said the exact same thing, but there's something about it that's so funky and unexpected that it's cool. So that's why I made it pretty far up in the list. It's long hair horsehide, sorry, not calf hair, long haired horsehide. It's from fall 99 2000 and it also retails for $38.90, which I think it packs a lot of punch for the price. And the color is called acid green, which I think totally makes sense. And it was available to add to your bag, so you can purchase it. It was available. Next, so this geometric one I actually frequently see for very affordable prices on the resale market. This one has the most beads out of any of the beads in this collection, though, 104,500 beads. The process of making this bag is similar to making couture pieces. I love the geometric pattern. The bag itself, I've actually heard Sylvia Fendi talk about this before, that she wanted to create a bag that didn't require the Fendi logo. Obviously, the Fendi clasp logo is a big part of the baguette. This is one of the only versions that doesn't have that Fendi clasp, and still when you see it, you know it's a baguette bag, and it just has this cool geometric pattern. I do really like this bag. I think the only reason I didn't put it at the top is because I have seen these for very affordable prices in the resale market, and I would probably just do that versus buying this. But I kind of go back and forth because I do think this one is extremely special. I love the colors used in this one and the different like types of beads, and I do think it's really cool. This one actually came out in spring summer 2013, and it retails for almost at the top again at $6,500, and this was a pre-order style. All right, we're getting to my top 10. This is number 10. It has that short hair curly lambskin fur again, and it is in these colorful pattern. Again, I like it because it's funky. I like all the colors they use. I think they go well together. I like the different patterns. So I do think this one's cool. It's in number 10 position because it's also $7,200. Again, that's the top price point in this collection, along with that other plaid one that was mink and short lamb hair. This one is all that Astrakhan fur. This one was from fall 2000, 2001. Number 9, I have this blue lame leather with the sheepskin. I really like the color. I love the lame material, but it still is like somewhat simple. It's not boring, but it's still somewhat simple and very specific. You obviously couldn't wear this bag in spring, summer, and I couldn't picture a lot of outfits that I would wear this with. I think it's cool. I think it's just on the simpler side for this, but it did obviously make it in the top 10. So number 9 is this bad boy right here. It was actually pretty affordable. Again, shearling and sheepskin is pretty affordable. So $37.50, under $4,000. It was still add to shopping bags, so you could still get your hands on it. So this is a cool one, you know, again, in the top 10, but on the lower half of the top 10. Okay, so next, back to back. Number 8, I have this pink sequin one. These bags are $4,900. It has 9,200 square sequins and 3,000 micro beads, as well as this snakeskin python detail. Out of the two colors, I like the blue one better. This one has pink, red, and this almost like taupey beaded color. It does say that they're embroidered by hand, which I think is a really cool detail. You know the quality and craftsmanship that goes into these bags, how many beads and sequins are included in it, I think really justifies the price. I usually love pink, but I don't know if I love that taupe in there. So that's why number 7, I have the light blue one that has the green and the orange. I really love the combinations of these colors, and I think it's really fun, and I love orange, so I love this pop of orange on the snakeskin. I just think it looks really cool. These are from fall 99 2000. They're both available to purchase, and they retail for $4,900. Again, I think that price is justified for the hand beading and embroidery. All right, slot 6, we have this beaded bag in this funky design, 40,000 beads in various finishes in this unique pattern. I've mentioned why I like this one before. It's very nostalgic for me because I remember when Madonna wore it. It stands out. I actually like the vintage ones better than this because the colors pop a little more. This one is a little more pastel-y, but I still like, this is a really unique piece that I remember and stands out to me. And for that reason, it made it into the 6th slot. It is expensive at $6,200, but obviously, again, I think with the beading and the pattern, that price is a little more justified. All right, now we're going into the top 5. Number 5. This is where it was getting tough. I think number 5, I would put the fully beaded lilac one. We talked about the black one. I really like this lilac color. It's really pretty. Again, the original beaded bags are from the Fall 97 collection. It's one of the first bags Carrie wore on Sex and the City. So for that historical reason, I really like this bag. Between the purple and the black, I really like this shade of purple. And in the black, you can't really see the detail of the beads, but in the purple, it stands out a little more. So I put this in number 5 because it's still simple. And you're like, you said you didn't want simple, but because of the history of this style, in this updated colorway, I really do like this. It has more than 22,000 beads and it retails for $5,900. It is on pre-order, not currently available for purchase. In slot 4, I have the multicolor embroidery one. This one includes 20,000 beads and 380 mirrors. It is all embroidered by hand, which is why I think that justifies the price again at $6,500. It is available to purchase. You can add it to your shopping bag. It's originally from Spring Summer 1999. This is very true to the original vintage colorway. I love the way the pastels mix together, but it has that powerful tone of lilac. I think this is a really cool, unique bag. I will say, a few weeks ago, within a recent amount of time, I had seen the black version of this bag available for a couple $100. It was less than $1,000. It was probably between $500 and $700 on a Japanese auction site. I almost bought it. I regret not buying it now, but I have seen these available for affordable prices in the resale market, particularly in Japan, but still, I think this is a really cool bag to buy as a reissue. So I fully support this purchase coming in at number 4. All right, top 3. I could not decide between these two colors for 3 and 2. I have always been obsessed with this bead and stone bag. I have seen it before in the yellow colorway. I've never seen it in the turquoise color. I've always wanted it in the yellow colorway. I've just seen people price them way too high in the resale market. But I kind of am loving this turquoise because I love turquoise stones. Turquoise is my husband's birthstone, and I'm always trying to incorporate, you know, turquoise stone jewelry or anything like cool like that. So for that reason, I do like this, but I also love neon yellow. So it's impossible for me to pick between the two of these. I keep going back and forth and changing my mind. They have over 16,000 beads and 900 multifaceted stones. It's originally from Spring Summer 2000. I think they reissued this one as well. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I feel like this one was also reissued around the 15-year anniversary as well. It retails for $6,200. I want to say though that I have seen this in the resale market for the $3,000 to $4,000 range. I don't pay that much for vintage baguettes though, so that's why it was too high for me, but I do love this style. So if you guys got this, I'm very jealous. Now, if you know all 25 bags, you should know what's in the number 1 slot. Number 1 slot is the embroidered FF bag. This bag is embroidered with crystals and pearls on top of the Fendi 𝐹𝓃𝒾𝓄 print, which I love. And then it has that traditional like ivory brown python snakeskin print detail in the clasp and the handle. I love this bag. The reason why I also like this bag is because it's slightly different than the vintage version, and I think it is a more modern, updated version. It's fresh. I love the clear crystals against the brown Zuka print. I told you I don't like brown bags, but you know, here we are in the number 1 spot. I just love this bag. It's $4,600, which I think is, you know, kind of a reasonable price for a bag with such details. It's still a little too rich for my blood, which is why I did not end up purchasing it. If I see this bag for a good price a couple years from now though, this is something that I would add to my collection. This is my absolute favorite, and I think it might be a lot of people's favorite because out of all 25 baguettes, this is the only one that was sold out from the entire collection online. Everything else was add to bag or pre-order. So I think this was a very popular style, and it'll be interesting to watch the resale market in the future and see if it holds its value or if we can get a discount on it later in life. I just love everything about this, all the mix of materials and texture. I think this is a really good update to this bag. And I can't wait to see if anyone got this and watch some unboxings on it. It's my absolute favorite. So there you have it. Those are the 25 Fendi Baguettes in the 25th anniversary in order of least favorite to most favorite. I'll figure out how to put what I just told you up on the screen so you can see them in order of how I ranked them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative and also fun because I told you my favorites. I can't wait to see everybody's unboxings of what they got from this collection. And I hopefully in the future will be able to get my hands on something from that Marc Jacobs collaboration. But please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more about that. I am still planning a history of the Fendi Baguette video, and I will show you mine in the future, so stay tuned for that. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.